Welcome back coders, my name is Aditya and let's continue with the series on Python. Till now, we have worked with integers, strings and with lists. We have also worked with variables. Now, in this video, we will see that what are data types and what data types does Python supports. So let's get started. When we say the word data types, what do we mean by that? It means the different types of data that we can use in our Python program. Like string is a data type, integer is a data type, and a list in Python is also a data type. Means everything that we can store in a variable is a data type. So let's see what data types Python supports. In any programming language, data types are divided into two major categories: primary data types and secondary data types. Primary data types are data types at the very basic level, like we have strings and integers, while on the other hand, secondary data types are made out of primary data types, like we have a list in Python, which can contain different types of data inside it. So let's start with the primary data types. The first primary data type is string. A string can contain a set of characters, including numbers, spaces, and new lines. If a string contains the numbers, then we cannot perform arithmetic operations on those numbers, which are not even numbers, they are strings. If we want to perform arithmetic operations on numbers, then for that, we have our second primary data type, and that is integers. An integer data type in Python can hold both negative and positive numbers. It is capable of performing mathematical operations on it. Now the next data type we have is float. It is very similar to integers. It can also perform mathematical operations, but with an advantage. It supports decimals and can contain numbers with fractional values. The next data type is Boolean. Now this might be new for you. A Boolean data type can only contain either of the two values, a true or a false, or you can say open or close. But we write it as true and false in Python. This is used often in conditions and loops in a Python program. Now let's see the secondary data types in Python. The first and the most important secondary data type in Python is a list. As we have already learned about a list, it can contain different types of data inside it in the form of a real list. It can have any number of values and any type of values inside it. We can add values to a list, we can remove values from a list, and we can perform different operations on the values of a list. The next data type is a tuple. A tuple is very similar to a list. It can contain multiple data types. We can also fetch the values from a tuple. But the difference between a list and a tuple is that once we have defined the values of a tuple, we cannot add or remove values from it. We cannot even change the existing values from a tuple. And that's what makes tuple different from lists. And then we have a set. It is also very similar to a list. We can add and remove values, but like we can use index numbers in a list to fetch the values, we cannot do that in a set. And also, we cannot have duplicate values in it. The next data type is a dictionary. A dictionary is like an advanced version of the set. Very similar to it, a dictionary doesn't have index numbers. The change is that instead of using index numbers, we can use a key. Means it has a key and a value pair. We can get values from a dictionary using the key of that value, and we can have duplicate values in it, but not duplicate keys. So this is it for this video. In the upcoming videos, we will learn all these data types in detail and see the implementation of them. So subscribe the channel if you don't want to miss those informative videos. And if you learned something new in this video, then click on the like button and share the series with your friends so that they can also learn programming for free.